каждый спикер открывает какую-то новую грань и рассказывает про новую сферу применения этих знаний, и шаг за шагом можно сделать, слушая спикеров, можно понять и сделать вывод, насколько действительно эти знания, насколько они безграничны, насколько их можно применять в разных сферах, да, то есть это и в том доме, в котором мы уже живем, это и для коррекции тела, это и для подстройки ситуации либо пространства под свои нужды, это и для проектирования, это и для дизайна, это и для имиджа, это вообще, ну, по сути дела, можно, зная, как правильно перенаправлять энергию, можно использовать абсолютно во всех сферах своей жизни. И это, наверное, именно та причина, по которой именно васту геобиология, именно вот эта связка из двух слов, она действительно дает новое понимание и новое наполнение и самой науки васту, и вообще всей вот этой вот теории, которую нужно приложить определенные усилия, чтобы изучить. И вот очень мне понравилось, как сказал Егор, что одно дело, когда мы просто почитали, да, и где-то очень внутри себя глубоко такие напыщились, надулись и сказали: ой, я вот это вот все знаю. Да, но если в нашей жизни ничего от этого не поменялось, если мы не начали применять эти знания в жизнь, если мы не сделали их своим опытом, если мы не прочувствовали, не поняли на себе, как это работает, то, в общем-то, можно сказать, что этих знаний у нас нет. Они где-то там живут, как лишний жир на боках, и все, и толку от него нет. Ну вот. Поэтому очень важно действительно применять на практике. И сейчас я хочу показать видео про эко, да, вот про Уравиль мы уже посмотрели, и послушать, что рассказывает человек, которому, в общем-то, пришла идея этого удивительного сооружения, и как изнутри он сам оценивает. Какая буква была? Так, какая буква была у Ани? Я тут уже даже забыла. Сейчас, минутку, посмотрю. У Ани была буква «С». Так, минуточку, внимания.
Ekam is a mystic powerhouse, and it is open every day from morning to evening for all visitors across the world to come and meditate here. Ekam is this very unique place on this planet, which is, I would say, which is a place where powerful energies, powerful earthly energies, and powerful mystical transcendental energies come together. It's a place where a perfect coming together is happening. So if you want to call the transcendental energies as the divine energies, then it's fine, or universal intelligence, and the power of this earth and the power that's present in this air, all coming together is what's happening in Ekam, because that's the way that building has been designed. That's the spot in which it was selected. So the spot where Ekam sits is one of the most powerful spots on this planet. The person who designed Ekam is one Mr. Prabhat Kumar Poddar, and he is a very famous architect and a very famous energy reader. And in fact, he now lives in France. And his family is a very deeply spiritual family. So they were very, very rich once upon a time, and they donated their entire wealth to Sri Aurobindo in Pondicherry, Auroville. So Auroville is the mother, but they went to Aurobindo and they donated their family, and the family donated everything and stayed in Aurobindo's ashram, and a very spiritual family. But Poddarji's his vision is to read the energies in the world, to travel. He's traveled almost every nook and corner of this world, and he reads energies. So when I had this vision to build this for my parents and to build this for the world, as you hold that vision in a beautiful state, you come in touch with people who are exactly needed for the project. So I was 19 years old, and when I met Poddarji was 50 years old, 30 years elder to me. So when I spoke to him about the vision of Ekam and why we want to do this, everything, he was like, you're so young, are you really meaning, and are you really serious about this whole thing? I said, yes, Poddarji, we are very serious. I am serious and I want to make this happen. So he took some time, but I think within a day or two, he said, okay, I'll work with you. And he, in fact, signed up to work exclusively on this project for 2-3 years because it's a massive project. The earth that we live on has grid lines. So these are energy grid lines, okay? They're running all over the earth. And these grid lines all produce negative energies. So in the olden days, in Europe and everywhere, even in India, they used to allow the cow to gaze on the fields. And the cow, when it gazes on the fields, it does not gaze where the energy grid lines are passing. They don't eat the grass there. They can sense this. I don't know if today's modern cows can sense it. We don't know about that. But those days. So the cow will actually mark the grid lines on your property, and then the architect starts to build. So you basically build the walls, you build where you don't want to live, such kinds of things on the grid lines. So that the energy, so for example, this hall, this entire structure sits on grid lines. So the space you're sitting in is a very beautiful energy space. So when you create a space which has no grid lines passing through it, it's supposed to be a very powerful space. Now, the way those grid lines are structured, the sizes that you get are normally 4 square feet, 6 square feet, 10 square feet. That's the max. Maybe 50 square feet, 100 square feet. But Acom, amazingly, has probably over 100,000 square feet. So it's 100,000 plus square feet of box where there are no grid lines. So it's very strange location. So he said to me, Krishnaji, this is probably the third spot on this planet which has such a powerful energy square or a rectangle where there are no negative energies at all. So the outer pathway, as you walk up the steps, you see outer pathway, right? That's the grid line. So the whole Acom sits in a very powerful spot. Acom has its designing started from there. Its designing started from identifying these negative energies that flow in this below the ground. And then one of the most powerful forms of architecture is a ratio which is called 1:1.614. It's called the golden ratio. So when you look at nature, and science today discovers that when you start digging into the structure of nature, most of it that looks beautiful to the eyes is 1:1.614. So the leaves of the trees, the branches of the tree's height and its width proportion, everything naturally sets itself in this ratio. It's 1:1.614. So if your breadth is 100 feet, then your height has to be 160 feet. So Acom is a 1:1.614 ratio. It's called the golden ratio, and such a ratio produces unbelievable beauty to the eyes and also produces unbelievable energy because it is flowing with the structure of the universe. So this is scientific. This is not something Podaji is creating or I am creating. So one of the best things about the architect is he was very scientific. He is probably the person in the world who has done the best research on energy studies. So like that, over 25 sacred, ancient, spiritual principles has gone into creating Acom. As you enter the main hall, you see column, right? You see a colorful pattern on the ground. Now those patterns are to keep away negative energies coming into the hall. So that's what, as you walk on top of it, your negative energy is getting cleansed. So these are things that Indian homes and Indians will do in front of their homes they've been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. So that's to keep away the evil energy, evil spirit entering in, and as you walk through it, you getting cleansed. Ekam is a Surya Yantra. It's the yantra of a sun. So early morning, the sun's rays directly flow into Ekam and hit the golden orb. So it's been aligned in such a way that there's a lot of energy from the sun. So when you were in the Enlightenment Festival, if you were there for the festival, that's why we had one of the enlightened states to be awakened as the sun rises. One state we had around that. So like this I can go on and on and on. So that's what Ekam is. So Ekam brings all these energies and the transcendental together. So you see a crown on the center dome of Ekam, right? A crown. Now that crown has a very minute hole to it, and if you actually go up there and see through the small hole, you can see the center of the golden orb. Yeah, it's perfectly aligned, and that center is that center of the crown is opened for universal energy and universal intelligence to flow through. So the entire crown itself is designed in 1.61 is to 1.614 ratio. The stuff it has inside the materials that have been put into the crown is to attract divine energies, transcendental energies. The whole design of that entire dome in the center is to attract the divine energies. So it has a very tiny hole to it. So I was there up for the 10th anniversary. So we did a new, it's called Kalasha in Hinduism, but for you to understand, we can call it the crown. So Preetaji and I, we installed a new crown, new Kalasha on top of the dome. It's a new one that you see. It's just 3 months old. So every 5 years or 10 years, you need to change it for energy reasons. So we changed it after 10 years. Ekam is now 10 years old. So the center of that is straight to the center of the golden orb. So that's Ekam, and of course, inside Ekam is the golden orb, which is the manifestation of the divine, the manifestation of the transcendental. That's one of the forms in which it manifested. So if you're comfortable, you can connect to the golden orb. If you're not comfortable, through the golden orb, you connect to any divine you want to connect to your divine. If you're not, there are people who are not comfortable connecting to the golden orb and connecting directly to the divine. That's also perfectly fine. As long as you can connect to your universal intelligence, that's fine, because inside Ekam, you are automatically pushed into a transcendental state. Your state and your consciousness is cleansed. As long as you're inside Ekam, you are in a very purified, sacred place. So everything happens. That is why it's so important that when you're there, you hold your intention, you're clear about what you want, you're clear about what problems you want to be solved in your life. You're clear. And if you're clear, things will happen, because it's a very sacred place, Ekam. And that's why you feel tremendous amount of energy in that space. On last year, I got the entire acoustics of Ekam done, because Ekam was echoing a lot, right? So we did that in 24 days. There are 4 layers of soundproofing that has gone. Each layer was put for 60,000 square feet. So 60,000 square feet, another layer 60,000, another layer 60,000, another layer 60,000. So it can completely stop all frequencies from bouncing back. High frequency, mid frequency, low frequency, everything. We had 1,000 people work in Ekam. We did not have one accident. You see those huge structures on the top? Oh my gosh, those are all, each structure is weighing thousands of kilos. It was all done in 25 days. The guy who did the contract, he's actually going to come sit down with me and make a documentary, because this is the biggest project he has done in his life. He's a Christian. His name is Robert. And small projects he has had, his people go through injuries, accidents. Nothing happened. And he said, Krishnaji, the biggest miracle that I never thought in my life would happen for Ekam is no vendor has these materials ready with them. When you ask for 60,000 square feet, they'll say we have 10,000 square feet of stuff, balance 50,000 we have to manufacture, because it's a lot of inventory, right? Nobody keeps that inventory. Everything we asked for Ekam, the inventory was available. He said, this has never happened. That's the magic. He said, this cannot happen. This just cannot happen. And no one injured. And everybody came to me and they said, this is the most beautiful project we worked on, Krishnaji. Just call us for anything, we will come. When you are here, staying in the campuses, and when you are going to Ekam every day, every single aspect of your comfort is taken care of. Your stay is taken care of, your food is taken care of, everything. Your transport is taken care of. In fact, every campus has Wi-Fi for you to work. And at Ekam itself is totally self-sustaining. It has a beautiful cafe, it has wonderful shop-to-shop, it has beautiful lawns to walk around and relax. It is total comfort. In fact, I would like every one of you to come and enjoy this experience. It is just not moving into the inner world and having a beautiful, powerful inner experience, but also you will be exposed to having a beautiful outer world experience, a very comfortable, beautiful experience. So I would want each and every one of you to come here and experience this. It's a very powerful place. So when you are in there, make sure that you are very clear about what you want, and also make sure that you hold an intent to contribute back to human consciousness, because Ekam is connected. We have powerful processes that happen throughout the day. There are processes to remove obstacles from your life. There are processes to receive gifts in your life, which means to fulfill your desires. There are processes where your divine reveals itself to you and you find the answer for your problem from the divine. So these processes happen every day in Ekam, and in fact we have visitors coming every day. And we also have seekers coming, which means that people come here, they stay for a couple of days or a week, and they go through these regular processes, these powerful processes by staying here in various campuses. So heal, that's important. Every one of you in this hall heal. If you don't heal, you are polluting negative energy. It's not coming from outside, it's coming from within you. Stop the pollution. In fact, recently we had a Malaysian group of almost close to 100 people who came and stayed here for 7 days. And they went through all the 7 days of different processes in Ekam. So we have each day a different process in Ekam. So for 7 days we actually have 14 different processes that happen. So you are actually worked upon your 7 different chakras from Mooladhara to Sahasrara, and it's a very powerful journey. It's a journey of awakening to the mystical and the transcendental power that's out there, and solving your life's problems and fulfilling your life's desires.
Ну что, как вам? Кто хочет такое же построить себе в огороде? Да, конечно, когда вот в такие места попадаешь, то действительно понимаешь, что такое на самом деле сакральная архитектура, зачем она нужна, что она дает. И это невероятный опыт.